doing?
I earn money
How much do you earn?
about 2,000 plus.
Wow.
Yeah,
What do you do?
I put the money inside T-bill.
What is T-bill?
T-bill or T-bills basically are short-term Singapore government securities.
What is the short-term government security?
It means that you need to buy something,
Buy what?
pay money to buy something at a discount rate.
Okay. Who give you the money? What happened? And how do you
It's
get the
like
money?
you lend the government money.
Oh,
So example, right?
Singapore government.
Yeah, if let's say successful,
Mm.
you pay let's say $800. 6 months later, they will give you
Wow,
$1,000.
so good. So why they give you?
Hmm?
Why they give you?
You lend them money, so they put an interest to it. The example that I gave is really too good It's about 20% return.
It's example only not the real one, meh?
Yeah, the real one is really 2,000 plus dollar. I can show you later on.
Oh,
Are you interested?
yes, please.
Do you want to earn more money to buy some more diapers?
I want to listen more first.
Okay. Hello, so you wake up already
Yes. So now I know a little bit of T-bills. But
Okay.
then, what is the real reason you go and buy T-bills? Why you want to use the money to do other things, like invest other things? Maybe got better returns.
Firstly, I always believe in diversification. So in my mind, right, the next 6 months I won't be using my CPF money. Yeah.
Also 6 months you don't use it. No we all don't use CPF money. Cannot use
Depends Sometimes you will use for like mortgage loan for your
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. So why you decide use CPF money to invest this? What is the main factors?
I want my money to work harder for me.
CPF money
Yeah, so I use
Okay.
CPF money.
Only can invest this one, cannot invest other thing. This one
Can.
best is it?
Can. Actually, CPF money you can use to buy a lot of other investment forms, right? But one of them, of course, definitely is our Singapore government security bonds, which is rating.
Singapore government security bonds.
Yeah.
Is it the same as why you choose the T-bill?
Like I say, I think that within the next 6 months, so you have to think within the next 6 months or 12 months, will you be using a lot of your money in a CPF in the sense that whether you are going to purchase a new house. So if you purchase a new house, you then need a down payment.
So for you, no use So that's why you put
Not at the
T-bills
moment. And then at that point of time, you know why? Because of inflation has been increasing and also the interest rate for fixed deposit and also for T-bills are also increasing. So if there's always a concept called opportunity cost. Yeah. So my
Means what?
thinking is that
Mm.
if I use my CPF money to invest in T-bill and within the next 6 months, I can earn a little bit more as compared the money I put inside the CPF, which I never do anything. So because in short, I want my CPF money to work harder for me. Basically, right, to you, right, in layman terms, you can earn more money. Wouldn't you want to do it?
Yes. No risk Is it no risk?
Of course, triple A rating. If there's a rating, right, it means there's still a risk, right? And when we
What
talk
kind of
about
risk?
bonds, right, bonds recently there are quite a couple of news, right,
T-bill is bond.
regarding
It's a subset
yeah, it's Singapore government security bonds.
So it's a T-bill means it's a bond
Yeah, and also in a sense that you are lending the government some form of money, right? Yeah, in that case, you fork out the money first, and only at maturity or rather the 6 months expiry date, right? You need to redeem so that you can get the interest back.
So means the risk very low because Singapore government confirm will return you money, right?
Yeah,
That's why
in
very
from my
low.
perspective lah.
Okay,
So
okay.
I
Now I
took
understand
this
why.
risk, I took this appetite. I'm also quite risk adverse. So in the sense that other than other investment portfolio, right, one of them that I thought the best way and the minimum risk that I would then be receiving would then be T bill.
You make it sound so easy already. So how easy is it to buy? Can buy?
Can I give you my example?
Okay.
So that day I went to the branch. I used OCBC account. So I went down to the OCBC branch at Tiong Bahru. And then I told the staff I want to apply T-bill.
Which staff? Any
OCBC
staff?
staff.
Security guard,
No lah, OCBC staff.
the counter staff.
Yeah. Like you just press the ticket lah, then they will give me a ticket.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
And then what must you tell them?
That you want to buy the bill. Lor.
Then what would they ask us?
They'll ask
Ask
me
me.
whether I have like CPF, IS account being set up. Then
Of
if
course
you
I
don't
confirm
have,
lah. I don't know. I say
yeah
no
lah.
lah. Don't have.
Or
Is
whether
it
you
for
can ask them to check
help
for
me check?
you.
Oh,
Yeah, if you don't have, then they will have to apply that for you. And in order for them to apply that for you, right, you need to go through a list of questionnaire. I can share with you the link.
okay.
Then after that, once the CPF account is being set up or other CPF IS investment scheme, right, you also need to tell them what is the amount that you want to buy, and it's in multiples of $1,000. And then if let's say you are using CPF money to buy the T bills, right, you need to set aside 20,000 OA account in your OA account first.
Set aside.
Yeah.
But I cannot control ma. How I set aside? Is it you mean minimally I need to have 20K inside OA before I can
In
ask the
fact,
bank?
even $21,000 lah. Let's be more
Oh, so
accurate.
in the OA I must have 21,000. Then the bank staff will help me buy T bills.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what's next?
Then you have to wait for the result to be out.
What
So
result?
usually for T-bill application, there are quite a lot of dates, but what you need to remember is the application date. You must apply before the application date. My advice is maybe 2 to 3 days before the closing date. For example, the upcoming one would be 20th of July. Try to set up everything by 17th of July, including the amount that you want to vested in. Yeah.
Okay, and then what's next?
Then there's this result day. Result day is where you will then know, because the whole world is actually applying, right? Singapore, as example, like they would then determine whether you will get it in full amount or not. So example, right, if you invested in like $100,000, it doesn't mean that you will actually be allocated $100,000. Yeah, so you
what is
also
the sweet spot? Like how much should I put inside? How to determine?
depends on how many people set aside the amount of money, and then collectively how much is it. So they will split. But nevertheless, right, I think there is also this part you need to know, because the staff will ask you whether is it competitive bid or non-competitive bid. It's a very complex term, but what it's trying to say is that do you know what is the percentage or rather the return that you want? You know or not? As a beginner, you don't know, right? Yeah, so you can just choose the non-competitive bid.
Okay.
Yeah, non-competitive bid means that whatever the result out, the cut-off yield will then be your interest rate. Example, 4%. Then 4% is the amount that you will get the return.
Okay, and then so I choose non-competitive, and then
At the end of the day, you just wait for the result, and then you see whether the application, whether you have the full amount or not.
okay. After that, what happened?
After what happens, so
I get the money.
6 months, so you have to wait. There's another date, which is called the maturity date. Yeah, so the maturity date, right? If you use CPF account money, right, you just have to make sure that you need to move the money back to CPF account. It sounds the
How I
same,
do?
right? But
The
then
bank
it's actually
bank people will move.
no, you need to do it yourself.
How I do?
That day I went down and then realized that after March, right, they already have this online system. So you can actually go through the OCBC portal, you go through selection and you can click like you want to withdraw this money. Move.
Wow. So on the OCBC website,
Mm,
digital banking website, I will be able to move the money after 6 months. I need to move the money after 6 months back into the CPF OA account.
yes.
Okay, okay. This one doesn't sound easy. You help me do. Okay. Then the
Just bear in
money,
mind that there is like service charge and then quarterly
so we charge to where? CPF?
bank will charge you
I
nominal fee lah, about 250 like that.
pay in cash or what?
They will deduct from the
From,
application.
is it the CPF OA money?
Yeah,
Not my bank account money lah.
no.
Okay, okay.
But then this is one of the options that I actually use CPF money to purchase. There are also other options that you can actually use. For example, you can use cash. So if you use cash, right, it's not that complex. You don't need to have this like CPFIS account being set out, etc. But you need to have another kind of account which is called CDP.
CDP account.
Yeah, CDP you heard before, right?
Singapore one.